Assalamu alaikum, everyone. So we're gonna start today talking about why does bad things happen to good people, and this is a question brought up from Muslims and non-Muslims alike. They ask, if God is an all-loving, peaceful, loving God, then why is there bad things happening in the world? Why do people suffer? Why is there evil? And all these things. And even Muslims have the contention with this. Why am I suffering? Why is everything so hard? I'm a believer and all this. Must establish that God is not just all loving, but He's also all wise and has many other attributes that we have to put into this realm. I think people have a misconception where they think God is just a few attributes, right? And they forget that He's also all wise, right? And in His wisdom, things happen that we don't understand. We don't understand a lot of things. So we'll never understand because it's God's wisdom. We have we have one little word in the huge book of life. And God has the whole book. He knows everything. So we can't put our knowledge onto God's knowledge, right? So we don't understand a lot of things that happen, a lot of these evil or natural disasters. And it could be for a reason we don't know. So we can't put a judgment on God and say He is evil or why would He do that? We don't know. And that doesn't mean God doesn't exist or that God is evil. Okay? We have that established. So, but when it comes to personal things, like, hurt by someone or, the rapes that go on or all these evil things that people do, you must understand that God has given people a free will. And people use their free will, unfortunately, sometimes to commit evil acts. Okay? And we can't interfere with God can't interfere with their free will. That's their God-given free will to do what they like. And this life is a test. So people can choose to do evil things and people could choose to do good things, and with Allah's wisdom He will deal with those people in His wisdom. Let Him deal with it. Okay? Of course it's gonna hurt us, but we have to understand that this is a test and to be patient, right? Life is from beginning to end. Everything we're going through is a test, whether it's good things, evil things, and God tests everyone in different ways. So people can be tested with wealth. I mean, how are you going to use your wealth? People can be tested with not having any wealth. People can be tested with evil things. People can be tested with good things. How do we deal with these things? And again, this is all in Allah's wisdom. So we can't judge. We can't judge these things. We can't say God doesn't exist because of those things. We can't say I'm not going to be a believer because of those things. It's all a test, and you have to remain patient. In other ways, going through suffering is just shows that you are loved by God. Why? Because we look at the most beloved people by God in the Quran and even the Bible. These people are the prophets, and what did they go through? The hardest hardships, right? We had Musa a.s. He get separated from his family, and Isa rejected by his people. All the prophets were rejected by the people, and the prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, his children, 6 children, passed away in his lifetime. Now these are the most beloved by God. So when we go through these hardships in our life, we must understand that the most beloved people went through these hardships and they dealt with it, and it was hard, but you remain patient and you seek God's guidance, and you will be inshallah rewarded for doing that. We must realize that this life is it's temporary. This life is temporary. Whatever happens, remain patient and trust in God that things will get better. So when we establish His God is not just all loving, I will say most loving. He's most loving to those who deserve His love. So we have to, you can't say all loving, because God doesn't love all things. He doesn't love evil. He doesn't love sin. He doesn't. It does happen, but He doesn't love that. So we can't say really all loving. He's the most loving. If you deserve that love, then that's the most love anyone can ever get. It's higher than anything. So we have to push for that love. And then we establish that God is all wise. There's things we don't understand, and only God understands. So we must know that there must be a wisdom, divine wisdom behind it. And for example, if we don't know if evil things we went through or hardships that we've been through haven't made us the people we are today. For me, I've went through lots of hardships growing up and everything that I thought were hard. But if I didn't go through that, I don't believe I'd be here right now today, trying to give dawah to people. I've never done that if it wasn't through hardships I went through and led me closer to Islam. Sometimes you go through hardships to make you realize you need to be closer to God, right? You need to, I got into a car accident. Why is this happening? Oh, you know what? Maybe because I'm not close enough to God. And when you get close enough to God, it gives you that peace. And God knows this. So sometimes He puts you in situations where it makes you seek Him and it makes you grow. You can't grow without going through hardships. If everything was easy in your life, everything was just given to you, and you found all this money, where's the room to grow? You're just going to be sitting there in your wealth and just being a lame person, not growing at all, not learning. Why? So again, this is all in God's wisdom. He knows who to put in these situations and who He wants to grow. And there's a nice analogy I like to put when it comes to going through hardships. Sometimes Allah wants to promote someone to a higher status in the next life. So who are you going to promote? You're going to promote those people who deserve to be promoted. And when you think about it in a work aspect, you give the employees that deserve to be promoted, you want to test them even more. You want to see, can they handle this? Can they handle these work orders? Can they handle these extra tasks? And if they could, okay, this person deserves promotion. So it's the same thing Allah does, the same thing God does. He gives people harder tasks to see if they deserve this promotion into the next life. Okay? So we have to take these hardships and tests as a test and get it to our mind that we're not being punished necessarily. It could be a punishment, but we don't know that. So we take it with patience, sabr, and realize what it is as a test. And inshallah, whatever hardships you go through, ease comes after that if you trust in God. Trust in God. Any questions on this? Let me know, inshallah. Many things coming up on the channel, so subscribe so you don't miss it. I had a great discussion with Mrs. Bravo again, and we discussed a lot on Christianity and Paul, and it was really great. It was like 2 hours long, but I'm going to cut it up into pieces, so stay tuned for that, inshallah. And Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, everyone.